JPMorgan and Chase continues to solidify their mega bank status. CZ from Binance has a few words of wisdom regarding crypto and banking, and PEPEcoin over the weekend continued to rocket to the moon. We'll discuss all of that right here today on Pour Over Finance. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Pour Over Finance. Before we get into all of this, I want to just ask you to do me the favor, hit the like video on this video so we get a bit more exposure, and hit the subscribe button if you want more of what we do here on Pour Over Finance. So without further ado, we're just going to go right in and discuss a few of the things happening today. And this is probably the biggest of all things that was happening. And if you guys aren't aware already, First Republic, which is a major bank, they went belly up, and there was a lot of efforts to kind of get them out of that position, but it didn't work out. Today, the bank was seized, and they were put on auction. JPMorgan and Chase stepped in, and we'll read into that a little bit. As the article headline says, JPMorgan Chase takes over First Republic after the biggest U.S. bank failure since 2008. So since the 2008 crash happened, this is the biggest bank failure that we've seen yet. There could be more on the way, but we'll have to wait and see. In the article, it goes on to say regulators took possession of First Republic on Monday, resulting in the third failure of an American bank since March, after a last-ditch effort to persuade rival lenders to keep the ailing bank afloat had failed. Article goes on to say JPMorgan Chase already had the largest U.S. bank by several measures, and they emerged as the winner of this weekend's auction for First Republic. It will get all of the ailing bank's deposits and substantial majority of assets, the New York-based bank said. Further down in the article, it says the seizure of First Republic resulted in the biggest bank failure since 2008's financial crisis when Washington Mutual imploded. Back then, it was also JPMorgan who won the failed bank's assets. So what that's basically discussing is the fact that back in 2008, when the failures happened, JPMorgan Chase was able to consume Washington Mutual, bring on all of their assets, which further solidified JPMorgan Chase being a bigger bank. And now that we have the first major bank failure here in the U.S., they have consumed that bank as well. So JPMorgan Chase is well on their way to becoming an even more mega bank than they already are. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but let's further continue with what the article says. It says, furthermore, the acquisition will add over $500 million of profits annually to JPMorgan, excluding one-time costs. As part of the transaction, JPMorgan said it was making a payment of $10.6 billion to the FDIC. Shares of JPMorgan rose 3.3% midday. So I don't know what that means for the overall banking industry. When you have a major bank like JPMorgan Chase continuing to grow and become bigger and become this mega bank, I don't know if that's a good thing overall for the people. Because when one entity controls all of your banking needs, you have no choices. As we know, when it comes to monopolies are not allowed for these very same reasons. So are we in the process of potentially looking at a banking monopoly where JPMorgan Chase is kind of the big guy and whatever they say goes and whatever they determine goes? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I really like where it's going, but hey, all of the clients of First Republic, they needed to be made whole. At least they're in a safe place at this point. The FDIC would have taken over anyway, but they're in a safe place. JPMorgan Chase is going to be converting all of these First Republic banks to Chase banks. So at least that's a good thing for the common guy. But I really don't know what that would look like for, just like I said, the banking scene. To have this one mega bank with all of these assets and all of this control, that could potentially be a bad thing overall. We'll have to wait and see how this all plays out, and you can be sure I will be here to bring you the latest on it. Now, on the same scale of discussing the banks, we have CZ, which is the CEO of Binance. He was in an AMA today, and there were a lot of questions being thrown in his direction. But one of them that was thrown in his direction that really caught my attention, and I'm glad that there was an article that was written about it, is just the fact that there seems to be a bit of a rivalry between cryptocurrency and the banking industry, and I don't understand why. I guess I do understand why. The banks are trying their best to be the ones to control your money, and that's kind of also the goal of cryptocurrency. But crypto puts the power in the hand of the people, whereas the bank is the centralized control of your money. So let's read what the article has to say. It says, Binance's CZ basically says crypto winning isn't dependent on banking failures. Banking and crypto can coexist, says CZ, stressing the importance of being better than banks to win. And in the article, it says Binance's CEO, Changpeng Zhao, said we would not rely on banking collapses for Bitcoin's success. From a crypto community perspective, we should not rely on our success of the, we should not rely, that doesn't make any sense the way that this reads here. We should not rely our success on, there's a word missing there, but it says we should not rely our success on the failure of others. Basically what that means, in order for us to continue to grow, we shouldn't be looking at the failures of other people or other industries because, we can kind of grow on our own without watching other places fail. Furthermore, CZ dismissed the notion that banking success or failure has any meaningful impact on Bitcoin, clarifying that crypto is just one of many places to park money outside of banks such as real estate, stock, or gold. And then further down in the article, it says, it doesn't mean when one thing has risk, people come to crypto directly. There's many other choices in between. And I agree with this. I agree with what CZ is saying. I agree with the fact that in order for cryptocurrency to grow and to continue to flourish, we don't necessarily need to see banks fail just so that crypto can flourish. And I don't understand why there is this competitiveness between the banks and cryptocurrency. The banks are centralized and control your money. Crypto, for the most part, is decentralized and puts the control in the hands of the people. Two completely different ways of controlling your wealth. There's no competition here, in my opinion, because the people that are interested in crypto and want to go that route probably are not that interested in the way the current banking system works, and vice versa. People interested in how the current banking system works probably are not that interested in how cryptocurrencies work. And what he's saying here about basically where people keep their wealth, he mentioned the fact that people sometimes turn to stocks, real estate. There's other ways of maintaining your wealth, and this is absolutely true. We have to remember, cryptocurrency is still very speculative. There's not a lot of rules and clarity in terms of the laws surrounding cryptocurrencies here in the United States. So while that is happening, while it's finding its foothold, I can see that people would still be interested in maintaining their wealth in other places, sometimes in watches, sometimes in the stock market, real estate, the banks. So, there's no need to have this rivalry because, again, who is interested in crypto will be interested in crypto. Who's interested in the banks will be interested in the banks. And I don't think that in order for us to thrive as crypto investors, we need to watch banks crush and fail because, listen, there are people that are employed by these banks. when the economy is taking a hit and the banks are taking a hit, there are people with everyday families that are also taking a hit. So I agree with that. This guy CZ he's brilliant beyond his years, and I've always been a fan of the way he thinks. He's one of the few people in crypto today, along with Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, that I think really are the people that should be leading the way as crypto comes into its own. So I just wanted to point that out. I enjoyed the AMA, at least the parts of it that I was able to take part in and just listen. But all right, and then jumping into the last article that I have here today, it says pepecoin enters the market top 100 cryptocurrencies, soaring 111% overnight. The newly launched meme token or meme coin PEPE has taken crypto by storm after hitting a market cap of 540 million. A new meme coin is born. PEPE launched, and then just 2 weeks later, it has entered the market's top 100 cryptocurrencies with a market cap of 582 million. PEPE token pumped 111% in 24 hours and is up 304% over the week. It goes on to mention one investor who was able to turn his $250 into $1.2 million. And he is actually still holding on to 3.9 trillion tokens, which is worth just over $5.3 million. So that is actually pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive that PEPE token was able to launch, and then 2 weeks later is already at $500 million in its market cap, and was able to go all the way up to now being in the top 100 cryptocurrencies overall. And it is the third largest meme coin by market cap, following only behind Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. This thing is growing fast. Continuing here, it says DeFi volumes for PEPE have also soared. Volumes around the token spiked from 2.99 million on April 15th in Uniswap/Wrapped ETH to over 240 million. Wow. That is insane. That is pretty insane. I don't think I've ever seen a meme token grow at this fast of a rate and get this much attention. It even got listed today on OKX. And I was actually watching that in real time. I was watching as the charts just kept pumping as the news of it launching on OKX took place. It's actually really impressive. As a matter of fact, if I can, I'm going to see if I can go right into CoinGecko, and then in real time, we'll look up PEPE, and we'll take a look at its growth here. All right, so we're looking at PEPE, and let's just go ahead and do let's do 14-day. Look at that chart. This thing in the last 2 weeks has gone just berserk. Right now, sitting at 424 million in terms of its market cap, and it's just under the top 100, which it was above. Just look at this growth. Insane. Insane. So, like I said before, be very careful. I said this in my previous video, be very careful. Even though there's a lot of people making a lot of money, cryptocurrency is extremely speculative. You never know. It could pump today and completely dump to the floor tomorrow. You never know where it's going to go. But PEPE is raising a lot of eyebrows. It's getting a lot of attention. And I don't know, maybe we may see this token get listed by other exchanges. All I know is this is an extremely impressive growth, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. But that's all we got for you today. Are you guys getting into this PEPE token? What do you guys think about Chase becoming a mega bank or an even bigger mega bank? Let us know what you guys think. Go ahead, sound off in the comments below. Again, like I said before, if you guys like what we're doing here, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you want more of what we're doing, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified of when we are uploading this content. All right, guys, I am Aaron. This is Pour Over Finance. You guys have an awesome afternoon. Thanks for spending your time with us. Peace.